Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Today is Sunday, September 29th, 2024. This is my 154th Flosstube video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stick around and see some inspiration. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And to all my viewers who come back every time I make a video, thank you. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Well, as I'm getting ready, I've been wanting to do this video for a while. So I finally decided, okay, today's the day. And I think about things like, what am I going to wear? And like, I put on this. I bought this to wear down to the Jersey Shore, the hanger, to wear to the Jersey Shore. I did not make it down to the Jersey Shore this year. So I says, I'll wear it today. But then it gets you thinking. This is how our minds go into a tangent. Sometimes we think about, I thought about the Jersey Shore, being 15 years old, my cousin Diane being there with me, and the great times that we shared. Our families brought us down there, of course, but being together on the boardwalks, on the rides, in the ocean, on the beach. It was always so much fun, and it brought back so many memories. So that's how my mind goes into like a spiral sometimes of like, what made me think of that? And it could be as simple as a shirt. Anyway, I have a lot to share with you. I have some questions and some updates. I'm looking down because I'm going to show you this mess. This is just the first page of notes. I leave spaces like every month, well, not every month, every time I do a video, after I finished one video, I go to the next page and I write Flosstube number. I leave the title out because I never know what I'm going to title it until I make the video and see what it's basically about. Then I have a section for questions, comments, and updates. Then I do my whips and new starts. And then if anybody wants a demo of something, I do that usually at the end. If there's a giveaway, I do that. If there's plans, I share. So I leave sections, and sometimes I leave too much room. Sometimes I don't leave enough room. Sometimes I just have more things going on. So that's why I'll be looking down in the beginning to share everything that has happened since we were last together. Okay, so first I want to thank everybody who responded. I had asked about this one memorabilia chart that I had that shaded 2 or 3 lines on both pages. And somebody explained that just go with one of them overlapping the other. And then somebody came up with a really good idea, thought, whatever. What she does is she goes by the numbers. You know how in the charts they have like 10, 20, 30, each 10 blocks. And you can line up the chart by the number. Let's say it's 79 and 80. You can figure it out that way, which I thought was really very smart. So I haven't stitched on Elizabeth since then, but I will definitely be putting that pattern together because I'm at that point where I'm stitching part of the next section. And it's like I had to make copies because it was back to back instead of one continuous pattern or 2 sheets. Somebody asked a little bit more about the map board cutter. I'll show that at the very end. Maybe not everybody was interested in that, but I will talk about that at the end. Then I had said Marge's husband had made these, and Marge gave them out, a couple out at retreat, and I was lucky enough to get one. And had give thanks on it last time. And her husband Rick made them. So Rick, thank you very much. right now I have my September wordplay. Oops. It's the only one that I've stitched so far. I think I have plans to start January, sometime between now and the end of the year. So you know what, excuse me, I'm gonna put this out of the way so I have a little bit more room on my table to stack everything up. Okay, since I think my last video was the week that we were going to attend Libby's dedication at Morristown Hospital, and the whole family was there. James and Amy came, and Rebecca and Mike brought the kids and her parents, and her aunt had come, and it was moving. It was basically a tile on an outdoor wall. The dedication was outside. There was a woman who spoke a little bit, and then a woman, I don't know if she's called a pastor, she did a little talk and blessing. And then we had a young, I would say, I thought they were high school students, but then some of them looked a little bit older. So it was a choir of young people that sang. I forgot to look it up. I looked it up, but then I forgot to write it down. The song from Rent, How Do You Measure a Life, I think it's called. So that got us all very touched, moved, crying. Then they served some drinks, soft drinks, and alcoholic beverages. And they also had some hors d'oeuvres that they came around with, and desserts. And so it started at 6, and I think it was going to end at 8, but I think we left before that because we had a ride home, and we all left at the same time after everything was basically over. And so yeah, that was nice. And they said that after a year, that'll stay up for a whole year, and then they had the option of making a donation and keeping the tile there, or the tile would be sent home. So I think it's nice that the tile comes home to them, but it's their decision. Okay, then the following week, I had a meetup at the library, and it was a Saturday, and Maureen shared this called the Unstitcher. I believe it's a Lori Holt. Yes, it's a Lori Holt tool. I was frogging, and she showed me this tool that she used, the Unstitcher, and she goes, "Oh, this is so much better." I usually use a seam ripper, so I have to be real careful I don't cut the fabric itself. But she says this has a little bit more stability in pulling out the stitches. And she had one there, and I tried it, and I really liked it. And she says, "I'm going to order you one." And then the next time we were there at the library, she brought it. So now I can use it, Maureen, because I could have used this. So I will be using it, most likely. Okay, then we celebrated Caleb's birthday. Michael and Rebecca ordered a barbecue guy that comes, and he starts barbecuing like 4 o'clock in the morning in their front yard. Well, actually, it was in the driveway type of thing, street. Yeah, but they started like when it was Caleb's first birthday, they hired this guy, but we did it at our house. Now that they were having a lot more kids, and they had a bouncy house out there, and they had different stations for the kids to play. They had a little house to go in, and there was just so much for the kids to do. And it was so nice to see them all together. The bouncy house is not a good thing for grandma to watch. They just threw themselves all haphazardly on top of each other, and the big ones with the little one. I was like, okay, I have to put my back towards it, let everybody else watch, because anyway. So then let's see, trying to go in order, but let's see, 4, 5. We had a finishing day it was on Caleb's birthday. But finishing day is like my Zoom group gets together on a Saturday and we decide we're going to finish whatever projects we want to work on. And I wasn't able to participate really because it was Caleb's birthday. I signed on for, I don't know, 45 minutes maybe to say hello. And I started something, but definitely did not finish. But they did stay on. It's usually like 10 a.m. to about 3 in the afternoon. For people go in and out. They'll go grab lunch. They'll come back. We plan on it to encourage each other to have finishes instead of under the bed box. So I wasn't able to really participate. I didn't have any finishes since we were last together, but hopefully in October we'll have another finishing day. Okay, that was 5, 6. Sal's, I think the last time we were together, I don't know if he had his first cataract surgery, but he had his first cataract surgery. We went the next day, everything looked fine. He went last week for a pre-op for the next one, which is this Wednesday. Wednesday. And then a follow-up on Thursday. So, but I bring stitching with me to the day of the surgery because I didn't know how long it was going to be, and it gave me something to do, and the time just went by, and I got a lot accomplished. So I didn't mind waiting there. I don't know if you people, my friends, I hope you know you're all my friends. I was scheduled for an echocardiogram. And when I saw the doctor last, which was a year ago, she said, you don't have to make 2 appointments. Just schedule your echocardiogram and then see me right afterwards. And, I'll be able to read the results and, it'll all be done. So I said, fine. So when I went to make the appointment, I think I made the appointment for the doctor, but the echocardiogram calendar was not open. They only, I guess, do so many months at a time. So I said, okay. And then they called me, like, I don't know, a month or 2 later, or maybe 3, and they said, you need an echocardiogram before you see the doctor. So I said, yes. Oh, let's make that appointment. Okay. So we make the appointment. Okay, you'll get the electrocardiogram on 9 o'clock. You'll see the doctor at 9:45. Perfect. A week before the appointment, they called me and they said, we have a problem. I said, what happened? So she says, well, your electrocardiogram is at one location and the doctor's appointment is at the other. I said, how can that be? I was at the location where I saw her to make the appointment right there. No explanation. So, long story short, I don't have an appointment until February for her to meet with me. And I said, you know what? Come February, if the weather's bad, I'm going to cancel that one too, and I'm going to move it to the spring. But if there's anything wrong that they see in the test, I'm sure they'll get me in a lot quicker. I don't know. It seems like when I'm sick, I can't see my doctor like till a week or so later. I remember the last one was I had sciatica. She wanted to see me a week and a half later. And I didn't know if it was going to still be going on. So I asked, can I see somebody else? And it seems like I got to see somebody else within a day or 2. And that was same thing last year at this time, October 1st. I forget if it was me or my husband. He had COVID and then I caught it from him for the first time. And I couldn't see a doctor. I asked to do a virtual so that I can get the Paxlovid to speed up the process. But anyway, I just find that when you're sick, you can't see your own doctor. It's either urgent care or maybe somebody else might have an opening for you. I don't know. Is it just me? If you want to share your stories, I'd be happy to converse with you about that. Yesterday we had a meetup. Let's see, it's called Needlework with Jim. It used to be Needleworks Delight, and it was an L&S store. They have given up the store and they do pop-ups, and they rent a space and they bring their merchandise there. there's tables, you sit and stitch. So they decided to do it at the hotel where we had our retreat. So my group that we've been together for a number of years now has decided we were going to all go yesterday. And so we had a meetup yesterday. There were 11 of us there, and it was good to see each other. We hadn't seen each other, most of us, since the retreat in July, and some people couldn't make retreat, so it was even longer that we saw them in person. So it was really nice to be together and just spend time talking and laughing and enjoying the day. Which reminds me, which I should have said as number one, my heart, my prayers go out to all the people who have lost their lives because of Hurricane Helena, and or Helene, and who the people who have lost everything. I mean, we've seen the videos of the devastation this hurricane caused, and it's heartbreaking, it's sad, and I don't know. We have to all think about global warming and how to, I don't know if we can reverse it. I don't know what we can do, but maybe something can be done. Anyway, so prayers and to all those involved, and it could be a family member of yours that was affected. Okay, that being said, somebody asked me this is this is Autumn in the Village by Stony Creek that I finished on one of those boards that I painted black. Sal painted black for me. And they asked me if I used glistening thread and the, I think it was water lilies floss. So yes, I'm going to try to come in a little closer. The glistening thread is in the bell, and there was some in the street light, I believe. And I don't remember the color of this, but this was a water lilies color, the street. I did not do the words. I just wanted the street. And I'm doing the same thing with Winter in the Village, which you'll see as I get into my whips. But for Winter in the Village, the bottom row is blue. And I think this is a water lilies color because I don't have any tag for it. So I'm hoping I have enough to just go, I think it's 2 lines across the bottom. I think I will have, because if I have to replace this, I'm not sure where to begin. So, and the other one, this is the Glisten Gloss Rainbow Blending Thread that I used. And I have it in my, because those Stony Creeks use a lot of threads, I put them in a box. This is just a note telling me what pattern it's for. And the specialty ones I put in the front. And then it goes numerically so that when I'm stitching, I just start pulling out. The threads. So yes, I do use the glistening one, and I did use the watercolor. And Maria and Anna May asked me those questions. Oh, I have some stats that I wanted to share with you. I started stitching in 2017, and I think it was March or April. But from April to the end of the year, I kept track of all the finishes that I had. So this is 2017, I had 45. 2018, I had 71. 19, 62. I hope I'm reading backwards well. 20, 53. 21, 50. 22, 48. 23, 46. And so far this year, I've had, where's my number? 11, 26, 37. Oh, I should have looked right here. This is how I know how many I've completed. I have this one little book. 37, oh, 35. 35, unless I didn't add. 35 I finished so far this year. And what I do is I just like put the year down and I just number down the side what it was, the title of the designer, and I'm trying to put the fabric down because a lot of people ask me and I hadn't kept track of fabric. And basically all I can tell you if it's Ada or Lugana, most of the time I can do that, but I can't give you the exact color sometimes. So I'm trying to be better at writing it in the book. And then once I finish the pages, I'm going to turn it upside down and go the other way. So I had, this year I carried over 21 whips, and out of those 21, I've completed 10. So I still have 11 whips that I carried over. And then I did 46 new starts. Of the 46, I completed 26. And I still have planned for this year 10 more new starts. That confuse you? Confuses me too. I'm still trying to figure out like plans for next year. People are trying to get me to do different things, but I have to feel it. And right now I'm not feeling too much. So I haven't decided on what I'm going to do for next year. Alrighty, let's get to what I've been stitching. Okay, in no particular order, but okay, this was, I have participated in ABCingo, and I do WIPGO as well. And the WIPGO call this month, one of them was start something new that wasn't planned. So this is 'Tis the Season by Lizzie Kate, and this was for the letter K in the ABCingo for Kate. And so this was a new start. I started this on a 14 count toast that I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And this was the piece that I started when I was waiting for Sal's to have his cataract surgery. So I did get a lot done. And then I came home and stitched that evening too. So this is the start on 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. And it's called 'Tis the Season. And those, you know, you think maybe these are eyes, but they're not. They're eyebrows. They have to, the space that was left there are his eyebrows. So. I have a number because on ABCingo you touch something every day. Okay, this is Winter in the Village. I make a copy of the pattern because the pattern's on different pages as you move down, and I like to see the whole pattern while I'm stitching. So this is Winter in the Village, and I finished the outlining in the needle point shop. I think I typed in, did I do needle point? No, I didn't do the sign, but I did the rest of the building. And of course, this was like I said, one day. And you had to stitch a minimum of 100 stitches. So 'Tis the Season, you saw I got quite a number of stitches in. This one, not so much. I finished outlining the windows. The only thing I need to do is write the word needlework, I think. Needle workshop. And I started the next building, which looks like the church. And this is the piece so far. Oh, I just love it. I love it once you put the outlining stitches in, it just makes it pop. So probably next time I pick this up, I should do the outlining of needlepoint shop, and then go on to the church, which is this one right here. This is stitched on a 28 count ivory Lugana, because I'm trying to do them all on the same count, because I can just swap them out with that finishing board. This is Prairie Schooler, and this was for the letter, Winter in the Village was for the letter V for village, and this is Prairie Schooler Santa for P, and I'm doing this year's on a 18 count Davos, 2 threads, and I'm not sure the color. And that's where I've gotten. He was started up to like about here. So I finished this side, the pants, and the gloves. He's holding something on each side. And then I have to do his boots, and then the outlining of the trees. I don't know if I'll finish it in one more rotation, or I might need 2. I put it in a Q-snap, small Q-snap, so that I could pull the fabric taut, because Davos, it's easy to lose a stitch. This I haven't picked up in a while, and I don't understand why, because I really enjoyed working on this. This is Miss Bingley's Library by Plum Street, and this is a 14 count Country Mocha Ada. This is the pattern. And this, let's see, what did I put in? I put in a window and brought in some of the white. I think, I don't remember if I did a row as well, but this is all I did. But I realized that it's just 3 more windows and a door in the background, and then the words. So like, Lori, come on. And then just some outlining of the spines of the books. And it's done. We're trying to, one of the thoughts people are throwing around is, 25 new starts in 2025. Some are saying 25 finishes in 2025. I think I'd like to do that one. And this might be one of the ones that I would push for a finish. This is a mess. This is Autumn Skies by Hands On Design. And I had stitched this pillow last year, and I said, oh, I'll do this one this year. And it was a new start. And this is being stitched on 14 count ivory Ada. And that's where I've gotten so far. So I'm very happy with the progress on it. I'm maybe, like another rotation, definitely 2. But I'd love to see this finished this year. But a lot of times I say like, oh, I think I finished my last finish for the year, and then I'll stitch something and I'll have it done, which is surprising to me. The next one is Red, White, and Bloom by Brenda Gervais. This is the pattern. I stitched this girl without these leaves. I think I'll put some fabric on this side. I'm hoping to find some small sunflower prints that I can use. And I think I did this one, and I just did this one. This one will save. And this is stitched on a 14 count Toast Ada. And this is the newest one that I completed. Isn't he cute? And they're called different, Garden of, let's see, this would be July Jubilee, I believe. This is Sam's Sunflower. This is, let's see, July Jubilee, Stars and Stripes. Could be Stars and Stripes on that one. And then this one is Garden of Liberty. I would have had totally different titles. I would have said, this is Betsy Ross. This is Uncle Sam. It's just easier to remember. But anyway, I did 4 of them so far, and I think that'll be it for this year. And then I'll decide if I will do the last pattern. Okay. Oh, I haven't been telling you. The Prairie Schooler was for the S for Santa. Miss Bingley's Library was M for Miss. Autumn Skies by Hands On Design was for D for Design. Red, White, and Bloom was for the R. And okay, we're back to what I've been stitching. The next one is Fresh Watermelon by Little House Needleworks. That's the pattern. And this was for the F for Fresh. And this is being stitched on, I think it's, I don't know if it's a 14 count. Looks like Ivory Ada. I didn't press it. But this time I put in watermelon and I filled in the background and I brought down one leg. I finished this leaf and this leaf. So this will not be finished this year, but there's another watermelon that goes here. I like small watermelon. And then the big watermelon, the vine. So it's not that much left, but because it's like more summery spring, summer, I'll probably not pick it up till next year. This one was for, this I picked up twice in this month because I was hoping for a finish, but I did not make it. This time it was for B for Barn, and this is Stitching with the Housewives, month to month, September. And let me see if here's the photo of it. So the first time I picked it up was for the X in the barn. This time second time I stitch it, I put in this branch and all the apples here. There's a weather vane that goes here and an apple on top, so I did that apple. So I have the weather vane to finish and all the leaves. And then I'm done. And I love it. It's on white, 14 count Ada. So hopefully one more rotation and that will be done. And then I think for next year, I'm going to start one of the other ones that I have in here. I just have to decide which one. It's either December or October. And they're both, I buy the ones that I really, really love. I don't think I'll do all 12 of them, but I thought I'd start with these 3. Okay, this was for the G, and I did White Christmas 2022 by Primrose Cottage, and I stitched, the G is for Globe. did this gingerbread girl. She's a girl because she has a little bow on her hair. And I had said, I had stitched everything but the white. I was thinking of doing beads in there. Well, I don't know, but I had such a hard time with beads. I've done a mirror with beads. I've done a mill hill with beads, but for some reason, the beads going in here just didn't want to sit right. The thread kept coming out of the needle. So I decided to use, I was going to do it white, and I think I did the white in her arms and legs, but for the snowflakes, I used Silk Lame Braid Petite, SP48. And I finished it. And so I guess you can't see maybe you can see a little bit of a sparkle. If I had Krynic silver, I probably would have done it in Krynic. One strand of Krynic, because I think it would have popped more so. So that's a finish, and I will do the snowman most likely next. And that was stitched on I don't know if it's a 16 count white Aida or 14. It's hard to tell. It was definitely not 18. And let's see. Okay, the next one was E, and it was Christmas Elf Fairy, and I'm stitching this on a 14 count toast Aida. And let me show the pattern. And what I did was, I think the white was done the last time I had picked her up. So I started doing some of the darkest colors in the bottom section of her skirt. And again, I apologize for not ironing, but it would be that I would be ironing all the time. And that's where I've gotten to. So I did this section down here. I'm saving the beads for last. Like there's beads up here in her hair. And there's a tree that she's holding. So, oh, her wings are the next large section. So it will not be a finish for this year. So I would like to have finished it this year. But, okay, this is the Sampler Company Plant Wisdom Sampler by Brenda Keys. And this was for the Z, and because there's an alphabet in here that has the letter Z. That's an easy one if you're working on a sampler. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure what I did on this one. I mean, if I really needed to go and look, I have a book where I write down the date and what I got accomplished, but it was a while since I stitched on it. So I think what I did was I brought the border across and the vine down, but I think I did more the border across to make sure that, because I had put a thread in, a sulky, to make sure that it lined up, and then I stitched it in. It's two colors. It's hard to see the lighter color, but I did do that. And here's a, you can't see, it looks like a dog that will be put on the other side of this rabbit, like over here. And this was the year in Roman numerals, but this year wouldn't fit, so I'll probably just put in regular numbers. And this is what the pattern looks like. It was this row of houses that made me decide that I wanted to stitch the pattern, because I just love the colors that pop. So definitely not a finish this year. And this is stitched on 28 count ivory Lugana. This one is I don't know why I don't have it. This is Under the Friendship Tree, is it? No. Okay. On September 21st was the dedication to Libby. And A was called by ABCingo. And I had slotted in Angel of Light, not knowing when it was going to be called. And it was called the day of her memorial. And I had Layla here that day, where Caleb was with in nursery school, preschool, and then Rebecca was going to pick him up, and then we had Layla. I was going to prepare her, and we were going to meet up at the hospital, which is what we did. And when she napped, I stitched a little bit on Angel of Light, and then when I came home that night, I stitched on Angel of Night. And I got a message, private message, from Vicky, the Virginia stitcher. Vicky asked to start this with me when I started it. I think it was in, I don't know if it was April or January, one of those 2 months. It was either January for the new year, which I think it was, or April because of my birthday. But whenever it was, Vicky reached out to me and says, I would love to stitch that with you in memory of your granddaughter. And I was very touched by that. And she sent me a picture. She remembered about the dedication to Libby, and she decided to stitch on it that day as well. And Vicky doesn't really participate in acrostics or ABCingo unless she changed her mind, but Vicky stitches on what Vicky wants to stitch when she wants to stitch it, and she gets much more done that way. But she took the time out to stitch on that in Libby's remembrance. So when I received that, I was quite touched by that, and I was really moved by it. So this is being stitched on a 28 count country mocha, and it was only for that one day, and I did this dark section in her dress. I brought that down. And this is where I'm at. You can see that. So I had started her wings, I think, the last time we were together. And there's some color that I added in. And that's it. Oh, it says 28 count Jubilee. It's just a different base, I guess, Lugana and Jubilee. So thank you again, Vicky. And that was very, very, very kind of you. Okay. Let's see, what letter was this for? this is for tea, and it was for trick or treat. Where's the pattern? Oh, I forgot to get you the finish. I had finished one last year. Is it last year that I stitched it? Or this year, early this year? Can't remember, but I wanted to show you the finish of it, and I forgot to bring it up. So for the tea, it was Trick or Treat by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I had finished this one. I'll try and remember to show it in my next video, the finish. This year, I stitched the owl, and this time I worked on the cat. I started the cat at retreat in July, and every once in a while, if I had some time where I finished a project and didn't want to work on it, I picked this up for a little bit. So this was a finish, and this is stitched, I think this is on 18 count, and this is the cat. '18 count Ada. I think it's Toast or Dirty Ada. Let's see, is it? Yeah, it matches this, and this says Zweigart 16 count Ada. Okay, 16 count. I have pieces. That's why I'm not really sure, but it matched that, so I got the color right. I'm hoping I have the count right. This was the previous one, the owl. So I have 3 done. That's all I'm going to do this year, but next year I'll pick another 1 or 2 or 3. It all depends. I think I'd like to do the ravens and maybe the bat, maybe this pumpkin, or maybe this pumpkin. So much to do, so little time. And I had put this fabric in here because this is what I backed the finished one that I did. And I says, oh, I'll try to get them all together. So I have to make sure the next time I go to Joann's, because I've had this fabric for a while, if they have any more. So that I can finish with all the same background. Hope you're not getting tired of what I'm showing. Okay. This is Spring Quaker, and this was for the L in Bringo, and I enjoyed working on this tremendously. But again, like one day, oops, I have my threads in here. And this is stitched on a 28 count Sand Dune Lugana. And the size was 22 by 26 that I needed with it. That's a 3-inch margin. I have my little cheat sheet in there. This was the label that was on the fabric. So Sand Dune, and I think for one day I got pretty much a lot done. I wonder if this was a Saturday or Sunday. Or was this the day after his surgery? So I had M in, so I did finish the word matter, how, long, the. I did this motif. No, this motif was here, these two. Did this one and then this motif. And this is where I'm at so far. I think the next time I pick it up, I'm going to come back on this side and finish this motif. And then it starts like the inside border. Now, if you'd like to share, this inside border is either a white or, I'm trying to see, winter white, most likely. And it's, if you can see, it's really like hardly noticeable. I was thinking of using the blue in this house to go around. Is it too, let me take it out of here so you can see it better. And I'm thinking of this blue around the inside border. Tell me what you think. I think if I use like this reddish colors, I think it'd be too much red, but the blue might break it up a little bit. And the white, so if you'd like to share your thoughts with me, especially those that change their colors a lot, I would appreciate your thoughts. And that, I think I said that was for L for Lila's studio. I enjoyed working on that. Okay. This is a Whipco call. Okay, Whipco call, which was done after ABCingo. And that was Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. That's the photograph. I've got a long way to go. I mean, I think next year I will be done with this, but little by little, progress will be made. This is being stitched on a 28 count Heritage Lugana. And I worked on the house door. The roof above, if that's a roof, I don't know, is it a portico, a roof? This section here, I did some lines across to get the correct amount of lines between the window and the door. And then I did the door, and this is supposed to be brickwork that will be across the bottom of the house. And then I started the shutter on this window and the white top like that. And then I called it a night. So I basically have this window, and then all the background gray, and then the brickwork for the house. I think once I get the house done, I think I will be more anxious to move forward because it's such a beautiful piece. It does, I don't know, if I'm back further enough. You must be saying, what is she doing? I'm looking at this border and this border. This seems to be way out. And I'm like, could that be correct? So I'm trying to look at this one, and I'm, you know, without the rest of the flowers in, it stands out. Probably once I get the flowers in, and when I work in that section again, I'll be able to figure it out if it's correct or not. But yeah, once I get done with the house, I think I will be much happier to pick it up more often, because then it'd be a lot of different motifs instead of the house. I know when people have, I've seen people who've worked on it, you know, once it was done, they were so ecstatic that it was, that they had it done and it looked gorgeous. So yesterday was our meetup, and we finished ABCingo on the 25th of the month. So then that's when I picked up Liberty's Welcome. That was a Whipco call. And the other Whipco call was a new start, and that was 'Tis the Season, which I shared. So I brought this with me yesterday, and this is Sweet Nothings by JBW Designs, and it's called Autumn Trio. I had started this in the first half of the month, and so I had basically the grass to do and add the little charms. And this is stitched on a 14 count DMC fabric that's printed. That's the fabric, and I picked the section that had more green to do this in, and the back is just plain white. And I'll show you close up. And this fabric had no name. I got it at Michael's, and I showed this the last time. It has no name of the color. So that's my finish. Just a little squirrel up top here, and 3 acorns in the grass. And this grass took me all day. Yeah. You know, you don't get much stitching when you get together with a bunch of stitchers. And then I finished it last night. I attached the charms on. That was it. Called it a night. Alrighty, that's everything that I stitched on. And that was 17 projects since we were last together. Now don't forget, it was a lot of them was one day each. So the next thing I want to share is a giveaway. Please do not say giveaway in your comments or anything that pertains to a giveaway, freebie, whatever. This time I'm going to use words for the projects instead of numbers. And if you're interested, just say the word, and we're going to do it until October 6th at 11:59 p.m. That's the cutoff date, so that I can gather all, because I write everything down in longhand, and then I do the random number generator. And then I will say it in my next video. And if you do say something like, I would like to win, blah, 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 I will delete your comment. And I've done that in the past. So moving forward, the first one is a JBW design, and it's called Friends and Neighbors, and it says good neighbors, good friends. It doesn't have any of the charms, if it came with charms. It doesn't look like it did. So just to put in for this, say the word friends. The second one is, this was one that I stitched already, and it was shared with me by Anna. And it is called My House by Little House Needleworks. And it has the alphabet where you can personalize it with your family name on it. And for this, you will say house. This one's Country Cottage Needleworks. It's the January sampler of the month, and it's January. So for this one, we're going to say January. Let me get a little bit closer. And this one I stitched, is it up here? Yeah, it's on the top shelf. This one, let's see, can I get there? It's this one right, where's my hand? Right there. It's this, Turkey Bay by Plum Street. And for this one, you would say turkey. So, turkey, January, house, friends. And of course, you can make one sentence and put them all in if you're interested in all of them. Okay. Today is Sunday, so tonight I have a planning meeting with Dee, my friend Dee, my friend Donna, and my friend Dena, who's half stitch, cross stitch. We're going to plan what we're going to be stitching for certain acrostics and whip-go. We tell each other what our whip-go projects are. So it's always fun to get together. Plans for October. Sal's second cataract is this coming Wednesday. I have a colonoscopy scheduled this October. It's fine. I've had, I don't know, 2 or 3 already. So I think I had 3. And it's just the prep that's a pain in the butt. But other than that, it is what it is. If it's going to keep me healthy, we're going to do it. So that is scheduled. And then the end of the month, my son James is going to San Diego to a conference where he's presenting. And so Amy needs help with the girls. So Gianna's going to be staying with me for a couple of days. She attends preschool, so I have to get her to South Plainfield like a 8:45, I think. So there's always morning traffic, and even though like in a nice quiet day, we can get to each other's house like in 20 minutes or so, or 22 minutes. But on a traffic-filled day, it could take like 40. So yeah, I have to get her up and get her ready and breakfast and lunch. And I'm grandma, not mommy. So anyway, and the reason is because Gianna's in one school now and Talia's still in the JCC in daycare. So yeah, that's the end of the month though. I have time to plan. And I think that's it. Oh, no, it's the cutters that you wanted to see. Okay, if you are not interested in the cutters that I use for mat board, that's fine. Thank you for stopping by and sharing this time with me. It's been my pleasure to share with you. Love you guys. Mwah. Okay, so the last time I showed you was this called the Compact Classic Mat Cutter, and it's a Logan cutter. And to be honest with this, I wasn't thrilled with it because this is the cutter itself. And this rides in a track that's right here. And there was a hole, like a channel that it would sit in. But as you can see, I demolished that channel, and very rarely can I get a straight cut from this one. So I'm very tempted to pitch it. And this, you can loosen these screws and, measure from here. But if you have a long piece of mat board that has to be cut, you have to take this off and just pray that you're holding it straight. So I'm not crazy about this one. And I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. And let's see, the second one I showed you was just a Logan adapter ruler. Now, this one you have to use on a self-healing mat. It will probably destroy your mat, but it won't destroy your table. So this also has a channel that, let's see, there's the blade, and the channel would hook in right in there like that. And then you press down, and you can see this point right here. That's the blade cutter, and it would cut your mat. Self-healing mat, so you don't destroy your table. You'll destroy your mat most likely. I've done mine, so I use that one mat for cutting with this. Now, if it's a small piece, I had it already, but now I have everything on top of it. If it's a small mat board, and this will also cut a foam core board. You just have to go through it a couple of times. Now, this is a mat board, and I made a line here. Now, what I would do is I would put the line this up, and then use this cutter and zoom, cut it down. But for something like this, I prefer using this. It's a Fiskars cutter that I had seen on Julie, a Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. She had one of these, and this was before the pandemic when I used to get good coupons for Michael's. I had a coupon that was 60% off, and I forgot how much this was. But even the gentleman at the register was quite surprised at how far down it went, that I think like $30 I might have paid for this. It was like $90-something. And it was, or was it 70% coupon? I don't remember, but it was a good deal. So I picked this up. So with this, it has a safety clip. It also had a safety shield, but that was more of a pain to store. So you would, let me see if I could tilt you. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so there's my line of there's the line right here, and I would line that up with where I'm going to cut. And then and you try to press it up against this top, press the board. If it's a straight board, you should be able to press it right across the top and get a perfect straight cut. I'm not sure if this cut is straight, but we're going to test it. So, and then you just, excuse the noise, but I want to show it to you. Just press right down. And it's cut. And I enjoy using this more than the other one if I can fit the mat board under here. The problem is the mat boards come in larger sizes, so you can't fit it in here because this is only a 12-inch. I mean, they have the big guillotine ones that are, I mean, when I was working at the high school, we had one in the back for the art department, and anybody who wanted to use it was in the back. But the art department also had large ones. That you can probably fit an 18 or 24-inch piece, but this is only a 12-inch, and it, you know, like that's what I use this one for. I'll cut it into a smaller piece first, and then I will, if I need smaller, I always like using this one. I use this quite a bit. So I think that's everything now that I was able to share with you, and I think I answered everybody's questions. I hope to be back in about 2 weeks. Yeah. So on that note, take care. Love you guys. Mwah.